this is what we want you to do this week, is fill this out for each student. So you make a copy of this for every student. And so what we did, your students are starting to read really fast. So it's hard to follow that 100 boxes. And I know you've tried that before. So when I was in 4th grade, they read even faster. And I just eyeballed the book and I figure, okay, there's 10 words across. I counted 10 lines. And I just said, will you read from here to here? Just start here and read. And then I wanted my eyes to be on their book to know, because they can go over a word and miss it and you don't even catch it if you're trying to follow along with your boxes. So I just let my pen hover over my boxes as I really watched every word. And then if they missed one, I made an X on the box sheet wherever. Because it's approximately 100. I went a little over 100. If anything, I try to add another line in there. So I feel like I really did get 100 words. And then you just subtract however many errors they made. That's their percent. It's not an exact measure. But I found that to be super easy then. Mm-hmm. And then the text level, high, medium, low, use that chart that we have in there that tells the levels. If there's a book, they're reading a library book and it's not leveled, you know about what the levels are at your grade level. Is it at grade level? Is it above grade level? Is it below grade level? That's all you need to know. Yep, when you plop down next to them. So it's sort of like in your independent reading time, instead of conferring, you're going to sit and do this with each kid. And if you want to make it part of your conference and have a conversation with them about it, you can. You don't have to. Kids like to know what you're doing because it's something different. And I shared with kids, wow, you were super accurate. And I check the boxes. Then on the fluency, you check which boxes you're hearing them doing. I heard you reading in phrases rather than word by word, and you're reading at a good pace. But I didn't really hear much expression, and I'm wondering if you're thinking about the people that are talking. So just ask them questions and share it or not. You can decide it. Sharing with them at this point is not that important. When we get to student goal setting, it will be. So take a look at this and see, does it make sense what you're going to do? The high, medium, low for grade level books. Because the other thing is, they could be low there and then completely accurate, completely fluent, and high comprehension. That's telling you got to get them out of those low books. Mm-hmm. So a lot of different messages can be happening here. We did have a student in 4th grade today. She was reading a really easy picture book, and I don't know what possessed her to grab that and have it. And so we just said, hey, we're going to run this assessment on you. Is this a good fit book for you? Is this what you would call just right? Because we need to mark on our sheet. She's like, no, this is easy. Well, would you pick one that you feel like is good fit for you? So we didn't. Sometimes kids take a break and read something lower. We don't necessarily want to assess them on that. And so we did ask them, is this a just right book? Or if they said, hey, this was really hard and I'm trying to get through it, then pick one that is a good fit. So, okay, so then you figure, does everyone get how to, the boxes underneath accuracy, you do not need to mess with those. You can check them if you want, but the percent is what gives you high, medium, and low. Fluency, whatever boxes you decide to check, we aren't getting a rate. We aren't timing them. So whatever boxes you check, then that's high is if you check every box. They just sound beautiful. They've got all kinds of expression going on, change their voice with punctuation. They've got all of those boxes, they're high. 3 to 4 boxes, they're medium. 0 to 2 is low. So, and then comprehension, there's literal and inferential questions there. You can pick and choose from those. You will not ask all of them. Do the one that fits the book the most. If you don't feel like one does, make up your own. But can they talk about the book literally? Can they pull some facts out and information? Can they give you the sequence? Whatever. But can they make some inferences too? Can they talk about how people are feeling? Can they make a good prediction? Are they making some pictures in their minds? What are they envisioning? So, and some kids will, when you just ask them to talk about their book, they're going to do that independently, and they're going to add their own inferences and their literal. So that's high. If you just ask the questions and they go, that's fine. That's still high. But if you still have to keep prompting. And for instance, I had a kid in 4th grade. Every time I asked them an inferential question, they went back to answering with a literal answer. and then finally I got it to go, and there was some inferences made, so that, you know, it was medium, but it just took a lot of probing there. I'm finding it's pretty easy to say, oh, yes, you're high. Do one of your very high kids first, then you feel like, oh, yeah, okay, now we know where we're at. And then, you know, work yourself around, and it just starts to become very clear where they're falling out. So next week what we want is, you can ignore the questions at the bottom. Those are for later. If you'd like to play with them, that's fine, but that's not part of the assessment this week. So the assessment this week is that you would have, in those 4 categories, every kid rated as a high, medium, or low. And that's what you'll bring next week. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions about that? And then if you want to try your kids too and bring that with whatever they're reading, whichever ones work for it, that's perfect, okay? All right.
Did you do this on a student then?